Namaste, spirits in human form. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm making this video because of some interesting dreams I had last night. So if you listened to the video before this one about dissolving the ego, I talked about how I had arrived at the point where that intense feeling, which leads us to believe we have a twin flame because we have a feeling of feeling connected to somebody other than ourselves on a deep level. So that feeling for me had pretty much up and left, and I was almost considering, you know what, maybe this whole twin flame concept, maybe it's for other people, it's not for me. Maybe I'm on some different path. I don't even know how to explain things that have happened over the years, but just generally feeling high and dry. And though, it's a bit of a relief to not have that kind of nagging presence surround you, a voice in your head, as though you're conversing with someone who's in the room, but they're not. That sense of overwhelming love, is as though I was taking a bit of a break. Anyway, you can tell where I'm going with this because I'm talking about all that in the past tense. So I had an encounter with the person who is, I'm told, my twin flame, and who, if I was a twin flame, or if I had a twin flame, if I was to think it was anyone I've ever met, it would definitely be this person. So after basically a few months of kind of a dream drought where he wasn't appearing in my dreams, the intensity of the feelings had kind of lessened, and I've been pretty much just doing my own thing, really focused on the moment. As I've mentioned, I'm back in school, taking an online program on top of my work, on top of all of my other commitments, so things have been really busy. And I didn't really realize how I'd been running out of steam. I just basically had the blinders on and have been moving from one thing to the next, and my goals and ambitions are really clear, and I've just been puttering around, moving forward, and not really having a ton of time to relax. And so this leads me to what happened yesterday, where I had this long list of things to do before I could get to studying for my new program, and the day just seemed endless, like one thing after the next. And I was looking ahead at the week ahead and realizing how many commitments I'd made and overcommitted myself, and was wondering when I would have enough time for school. And last night was having to stay up later than I wanted just to make a dent in some of the schoolwork, while still kind of going through my checklist of people to call and emails to send. And so finally around 9 p.m. last night, I'd made my phone calls, sent off my emails, gotten organized, finishing up all the loose ends of the day, getting ready for bed. And I finally sat down and spent some time on my online course and rolled into bed just exhausted and feeling a little, kind of craving some intimacy, like craving a presence in bed with me. But just kind of that momentary desire or longing for something, and then I fell asleep. And just to note, over the last couple months, there have been days where I've just asked the universe, hey, can my twin flame come to me in a dream tonight? Like, I really need some kind of affirmation. I really need some company. I really could do with a connection. And, I'd go to bed, wake up, nothing. I was dreaming about my ex-karmic soulmate. I would dream about different people, but my twin flame, like I said, it was a dream drought and had been for months. And I was at the point where, you know what, this connection is probably just a figment of my imagination, or I've laid it down and I'll continue forward without it, that kind of thing. So I proceed last night to have the most realistic, incredible dream. And really the most distinguishing characteristic about it was the vibrancy of the personality, the vibrancy of his presence, as though the connection was absolutely real, feeling physically filled by the connection in a way that I was able to carry that energy throughout my day. And it actually gave me the inspiration and the kind of additional boost of energy that I didn't realize I was lacking in order to get through my day and get through the rest of the week. So this connection, I feel, all the times I'd asked for it, it didn't come. And then here I am, so bogged down with work and busyness and a full schedule, and not thinking of anything other than, I wish for myself, not identifying with another external 3D person, but just having that kind of fleeting feeling of, wouldn't it be nice to connect with somebody? And there in my dream, not only did I connect, but an entire story unfolded. And I can get into that, but what was so interesting was how I had set my alarm really early to wake up and get things done. So I set my alarm for 5 a.m. and I woke up, and that's when I realized what I was waking up out of, like this journey I was on through all these different scenarios with this person. And I just felt that what I had to get done in the morning wasn't important enough to make me want to get out of bed and to stop this dream. So what I did is hit the snooze button and fell back asleep and did not think, really I wasn't really thinking at that point, but I'd been feeling so good and loving the energy of the dream that I wasn't ready to leave it. And the most amazing thing happened where I slipped back into my dream state, and he was there waiting for me. And so I proceeded to have the next part of, the next 2 hours. He was in my dream. And again, I woke up, and at this point I realized I had to get up, obviously to get ready for work and whatnot. And I just lay there before I actually got out of bed, feeling so alive, feeling so energized, feeling as though I would feel if he had walked into the room and given me a huge hug, like just that joyous excitement at connecting with the person you love and the beautiful exchange of energy that takes place in that moment of complete utopia. And I had that lying there alone, carrying the memory of my dream with me. It was such a beautiful feeling. So I proceeded to get up, get ready, get to work. And through that time, my ego started to kind of want to take control. And I started wondering, maybe this is a sign, maybe it's a sign I should reach out and connect to him. Maybe this is his way of letting me know that he's thinking of me, and now I have to reach out to him. And basically seeing the dream as a reason to contact him in the 3D. And I luckily really didn't want to go there because I didn't really want to wreck the beauty of the 5D feeling. Like, it was just such a strong spiritual connection I felt all morning and into the afternoon. And even later in the day, I had a bit of a slump in energy, and I just focused in on the dream and how it made me feel, and it brought my energy right back up, and that continued right up until this evening. So what am I getting out of it? I'm getting out of it that ego really quickly wants to hijack any 5D stuff. you want to get in there, you want to figure out what is it that this dream is trying to tell me, you overanalyze it, you want to use it as a reason, as some kind of leverage to contact the person you're thinking of. I even went so far as to pick up a pen and paper because the feeling was pretty persistent. I'm sitting at my computer, I'm wanting to contact him over social media, despite having made the promise to myself I would no longer do that because it's just too superficial a form of communication for this kind of connection. Plus, I've lost all 3D context for the connection since so much time's passed. But I put the pencil in my hand and asked Spirit, what is it you want me to write? And nothing came out. And then at one point, I opened a blank Word document and started typing, what would I say to him if I was going to send him something about the intensity of this dream? And anything I came up with just sounded ridiculous. So in the 3D, there was just no context for this at all. But all I had to do was sit back in that feeling and feel the rush of love and energy and truly feel his presence, his energy, what I remember of it, what it's like to be in the same room as him and to be around him. And that same jolt I used to get, I actually got from the dream. So it was this incredible affirmation of the connection, of how I respond to him energetically. And while I've dreamt of him many times over the years, the feeling in emerging from my dream has never been this strong, and nor has the feeling ever been so real as it used to be when I would be in the same room as him. So the fact that this was given to me, this kind of reignited connection at a time when I really needed the energy boost, the inspiration, the motivation, like it just energized me and has kind of lift me up and push me over like an energetic hurdle that I was experiencing. So it came in a very timely manner that helped, that was beneficial to me. So that's one. Two, it came to me at a time when I was least expecting it. I was not asking for it. I was so busy with my own experiences and life and connection. There was no thought of yearning for that feeling or asking for it or wishing for it. It came to me like the old expression goes, love will find you when you least expect it. This connection appeared to me in such a strong way when I least expected it because I wasn't looking for it. And it was awesome. And it was so real. And just the way when I returned to sleep, how he was literally waiting for me as I descended back into dream state, and he was there as though he, okay, yeah, you need to wake up for a bit and then come back and then we'll continue on. So what happened in this dream was the two of us were on a really busy street, and somehow I knew it was Bali, and he was walking towards me. I'm walking towards him on this busy street, and I recognized him. I saw this guy walking towards me, and because I haven't seen him in so many years, it might be since 2008, so 8 years that I've seen him face to face, I couldn't help myself and kind of rushed up to him, and and while I was rushing up to him, I had some conflicting thoughts, like just so excited that it was him and that I was going to be able to say hi to him and communicate with him, but also a concern that maybe he wouldn't want to see me and would literally turn around and run, or, this whatever expression would cross his face wouldn't be a pleasant one. But to my surprise and to my happiness, he recognized me with a big smile, and there was an instant kind of reconnection. And while I kind of rushed in for this romantic embrace and tried to, pull his face into mine and kiss him, he very much kind of put the brakes on, but understood my longing and reached down and kissed me not in a completely, platonic way, but in a way that acknowledged my passion for him, but let me know that that's not appropriate at the moment. And so then we continued in the dream together. I think there were a variety of situations where we were put in all these different scenarios with all these different people, and we just grew closer through all these different interactions. And people in these various situations, whether we were with a group of friends or with another, you know how dreams are, you're kind of everywhere and nowhere all at once, but we were in all these different scenarios, and people began to view the two of us as not necessarily a couple, but as a pair, so inviting us to something. And so we began identifying, like the fact that other people began identifying with us as the two of us being a unit was something, and that has never happened before in real life or in my dreams. But then eventually his soulmate, who he's currently married to, showed up in the dream, and she looked stunning and powerful and composed and beautiful. And so in the dream, he and I separated, and I think we ended up moving into different groups, and my group continued on and his group went in a different direction. And so we separated in the dream, and it may have, I think maybe a few things happened, and then at that point I woke up, and when I fell back asleep, he was there, fully present. And for the rest of my dream, I can't even remember the details, but we stayed together as a unit, and had and kind of grew our connection through whatever experiences we're having together in the dream state. So, interpret that how you will. For myself, to have this kind of really intense 5D development, relationship development, in that we were interacting, growing our understanding of each other, identifying with each other, learning about each other, and then separating, and then finding each other again, and then deepening that connection, only to awake into 3D and feel this beautiful energy as a result of all of that 5D work just bursting out of my heart chakra. It was just amazing. So yeah, it was hard not to reach out today, and what was I going to say? Hey, haven't seen you in 8 years. Did you dream about me? Did you happen to dream about Bali last night? Where do you go with that? And so the final thing I took away from today is, if you're having a really intense 5D experience, leave it in the 5D. Don't try and pull it into the 3D, make sense of it in the 3D, because you're really not going to be able to. Like at this point on my journey, I just have to surrender. It's been going on for so long. Like I said, I'll go through these kind of droughts where I may not feel him, I don't dream of him, and then all of a sudden I'm hit with the most intense 5D experience that follows me into my life, and I can pull on that energy throughout the day, affecting my 3D reality. Like, I can't deny that it's real. It's as real as the food I ate today. And but understanding how this was given to me, the context in which it was, and almost learning from it, like, here are the rules of the game. Don't seek it out. Don't ask for it. Go so far into yourself and be so, not so much consumed, but focused and aware of your own path, that when the universe does present something like this to you, it's a joyous gift, and it just makes it that much more rewarding and energizing and amazing. So, yeah, lesson 1, don't seek it out. Don't look for it. Don't ask for it. Focus on yourself. Lesson 2, when you're given something like this by the universe, don't go running to the person. Don't bring it into the 3D. Don't make something 3D out of a 5D experience. You know, this is the universe offering you a hand up. You know, there's a lot of people out there who, when they channel their spirits and their YouTube channel, they always say, Spirit told me to do this and Spirit told me to do that. And, you know, sometimes that just really rubs me the wrong way, because if we are spirits, well, which we are, in human form, if one is truly channeling in connection with the spirits, then that must mean one is a spirit and is communicating through the 3D body. So if one is always saying, oh, Spirit told me to tell you this, then they're not in spirit, because you can't be in spirit and say, Spirit told me to tell you this. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, I make these videos because I want to make them. And if my spirit is wanting me to make them and I'm making them, then I'm making them as a spirit. Spirit's not telling me to do it. I am spirit and I'm making them. So we need to bridge that gap, not see ourselves as separate from spirit, but that we are spirit. And so now I see this experience last night as a helping hand from the universe to connect more with my spirit. So by resisting my ego temptation to connect on the 3D and make this a social media connection, reach out with an email, and staying in the 5D energy of it, I'm strengthening my own connection to spirit. And that was the whole point. The whole point of these dreams last night was to strengthen my connection to spirit and to pull spirit into my body. I was in that dream space and I pulled that energy into my 3D reality today. And I'm sitting with that energy and I'm feeling my spirit and I'm talking to you as my spirit. So I think that pretty much covers it. The reason I'm calling this Confessions of a Reluctant Twin Flame is because, honestly, half the time, you know, even last week, like I said, you stop feeling it, you have no idea what's going on, you don't know why, you look back on, you know, your acquaintanceship with whoever and think, you know, what the hell, what have I been doing, and it's just such a, until you get these kind of breakthrough moments, you know, we're always in that boat of, am I crazy? What's wrong with me? This is so futile. What a headache. I wouldn't mind having a boyfriend. It would be great to have sex every once in a while. I don't know. Look at everyone else around me. They're all in relationships. They all have the social benefits of being in a relationship, let alone the financial benefits. And here I am, plodding along, you know, merging with spirit. And yeah, you know, one can get reluctant about it, but you know, you don't really have a choice if you really want to stick to your path and you really follow your heart. So I guess for me last night, it was an affirmation that I'm on the right path. I'm growing stronger. It proved to me that I'm growing stronger in my spirit. I'm not caving into ego's demands by running around and making this a 3D scenario. And I think too, the way it was given to me when I just completely dedicated myself to this course I'm taking, and that was my main focus, and then to be given this wonderful gift of my twin flame in 5D form, it was just, thank you. Like, I just thank, I guess, my own higher self and our shared soul for allowing us that. And I wonder what he might be feeling on the other side, and I wonder if I'll ever know. And I wonder if this is just for my own benefit. And like I've said in my other videos, this is just a connection to help me grow spiritually. And that beautiful dream, it definitely has helped me do that today. And I also had a really strange revelation that I would be able to have this kind of 5D connection in my dream and wake up to a 3D soulmate, like wake up to someone in the 3D. And actually, up until now, I've thought, how on earth can I be in a relationship with a soulmate if I have this twin flame connection that I'm so aware of and that gives me so much energy and feeling in love? And I realized today how different the 5D and 3D are, that I could have this experience and wake up and look at a possibly a life partner who is a soulmate and tell them, hey, good morning, I love you, and be able to balance the two. The 3D and the 5D are two totally separate experiences, but imagine how intense and awesome it must be to bring that, like to have that 5D connection translate into a 3D relationship. So I'm not counting on it. I'm not focusing on union, despite everyone telling me you should focus on union, and I'm not focusing on union. And you know what? When I don't focus on union, that's when I see results. So I hope this helps. I'd be curious to know if anyone else has been connecting with their twin flame in 3D, whether they're on the other side, not incarnated, and they're coming to you in dreams, or if you are in a long-term separation like myself and you're connecting in dreams. Be really curious to hear about it. So thank you for listening. Namaste.